Hey guys, it's Ash here coming at you today in Etheria Restart. Welcome to the video. Sending some love, some positive vibes your way, especially if you need them out there today. Today I thought it'd be fun to kind of look through all the animuses that I've been able to max out, not fully max out in terms of perfect lattices, but take all the way to level 50. Who did I decide to invest in, and who do I use the most? Maybe also, who do I regret? I don't have any hard regrets, but I do have some animuses like we all do that just maybe were a bit redundant to other, animuses that I upgraded or I already had on my account. So I thought we'd kind of dive into all of that, just talk a little bit about the animuses that I have and that I'm also actively working on my account. Would encourage you guys to go ahead and share who you're working on and who maybe your MVPs have been so far on your account as well. Of course, I want to focus on my MVPs in today's video. So before we do that, I got a shout out to Etheria Restart for sponsoring this entire channel. So thank you to Etheria Restart. You guys can check out the download link. It helps me out as well in the description below if you want to share it with your friends, your clans, your Discord servers, whatever the heck. I truly do appreciate it, guys. All right, here we go. Let's unveil the big roster. I've been playing for 2 months, and my first level 50 was Hellkid. Actually, really still love Hellkid, especially after they buffed him. It was an unexpected buff, at least for yours truly. I already thought he was a really solid animus, certainly not like S tier, not top level, not like Lily or Plume, but, did have a unique skill set. I like his skills in general. I certainly like his shield. I love that he has the shroud barrier that has the immunity in it as well, right? So I like Hellkid, and again, after the buff, I'm going to be using him a lot more, especially as I start to gravitate more towards PvP, which is actually kind of my goal here heading into October. I actually need to re-gear out Hellkid. You guys, especially if you're newer like I am a couple months in, you run into this a lot in the game, right? Where you have an animus that, the gear was decent maybe a month ago or a few weeks ago, but then you look back at it in just a small amount of time, you're like, oh man, I gotta do some work on this kit, this loadout. So I do have to do a lot of work on Hellkid. I have to switch his shell. I have to go in there, but I did put a lot of perfect lattices into this animus. I don't hard regret it, but it wouldn't have been my main choice if I could go back and do things again. I'll probably end up, just for the sake of it, going ahead and investing one more perfect lattice into the second ability. Okay, let's move it on here. We have Kloss. Now, Kloss is everybody's favorite animus, and I love her, but I find myself, maybe it's just due to the other animuses that I have, I'm not using her as often as I did in the beginning of the game. Again, that's not a knock on her at all. Keep in mind, I'm playing PvP in the arena, but I'm kind of just grinding right now for the resources. I'm not actually taking it super seriously. Of course, I want to win, but I'm using mostly just auto battles and just kind of doing it in the background when I work. So, Kloss is somebody who I anticipate using a lot more when I start doing more PvP and taking it more seriously. That being said, I still certainly do use her, and I made the mistake of actually using a bunch of perfect lattices on her, which are really unnecessary on Kloss. Not to say that she's not better with them, as all animuses are for the most part, but it's not net. You can save it on an animus like her and use it for others who are more deserving or who will make a larger impact on. Lily, my GOAT, my MVP, obviously, right? I think that you can still make a case she's the best animus in the entire game. Some might put maybe Plume in that conversation, but of course it does depend on what you need, right, on your account. I have her super fast. You guys can see the Strife and the Swift Rush here. For a shell on her, I have Artisan as well. I have Shadow Dash. I don't know. I really want the mythical Shadow Dash, especially on Lily, where it's all about speed, but that's what I have here. She's an MVP. Lingluo, I really like a lot. I have her fast as well. She's a great healer, a great sustain. Is a really, really good support champion overall, or excuse me, animus overall. I have her S1 all the way skilled up, and her S3 as well. I would say Lingluo, is definitely in the upper echelon of animuses that I use a lot, but Infernial was my most recent love, right? Infernial, actually, I summoned her during the banner event, but then I delayed a while. I thought she was maybe a bit redundant with Lingluo, to be honest with you guys. They're both support champions, or I keep saying champion. Old habits die hard. I apologize coming from Raid. Both support animuses here, but man, oh man, oh man. Infernial to me is next level. I like her actually better than Lingluo. They're quite different too, so it's maybe a little bit unfair to compare, but golly, she is busted. She's made a big impact, and she's certainly one of my MVPs on my account. A lot better than I had anticipated, and I do not regret maxing her out, not for a second. Yelli is my MVP as well. I'm only giving a few of these MVP awards out throughout the video, but Yelli is certainly in that conversation. She's my go-to DPS almost everywhere in the entire game, okay? So I absolutely love Yelli. I've went ahead and I've invested in her, every single one of her skills. I don't think I need to get the full skill upgrade on the buff skill because I have no effect accuracy on her anyway. However, you know, I could probably build that in as I start to progress the build. One thing I'm working on right now is I still have crit rate as one of my modules on the right-hand side. I want to eventually get that crit rate high enough without needing the crit rate so I can go heavier into the crit damage on the right-hand side. For Shell, I have Revelation maxed out there as well. Okay, next up is going to be Freya. I like Freya a lot, honestly. I see some people in the comments saying that, meh, she's all right. She's, you know, you outgrow her or whatever. I like Freya. Of course, I do, anytime I have an opportunity where I need hollow animuses, which I feel like is all over the place in this game. I feel like you go against a lot of odd. I feel like, frankly, she's great, right? She's a great support champion. She brings a lot to the table. She brings the nightmare. She brings the increased attack. She brings the increased defense as well. She has Dreamweave, which is very unique. So I find myself using quite a lot of Freya. Not an MVP, but certainly very good. Plume, yeah, MVP territory. She's my fastest Animus on the account. I have her just decked out in all my best speed gear, Swift Rush, and Time Weave on her as well, with effect accuracy and a lot of speed. Similar to you guys, if you have Plume, she really did change the progression of my account. I was able to clear a bunch of different levels that previously I had not been able to without her. So I use her in Lily, Yelli, and, you know, maybe a rotating Animus or two. And usually the three of them can be very close to plug and play. Obviously, there's exceptions to that rule, but she's fantastic, right? So she's absolutely MVP territory. Shadow Sonya is my most recent investment. So much so that I haven't even geared her out yet. All I did with her, I haven't done anything with prowess or anything. I think I want to start with her her S1 here, but I need to make sure I double check that, right? But her and another SR are going to be my dynamic duo that I hope that can help me clear some of the Inferno stages I'm struggling on right now still, especially stages that I even haven't cleared in terms of shell stages or in terms of areas where I just really need a faster, or I want faster times and to optimize. So she's going to be my dot combustor, instant activator, whatever you want to call her. So Shadow Sonya is my most recent project, and I can't wait to mess around. Maybe tonight. So not an MVP yet, but hopefully in the future. Didding. Well, Didding is I'm not going to give him MVP status, even though I'm sure most of you guys will strongly disagree, because I do use Yelli a ton more than Didding, right, in terms of DPS. But I really only have, because I don't use Shadow Sonya yet, I only have true 2 DPSs in Didding and in Yelli on my account. Of course, I do use Didding. It's not like I don't use him, but I use Yelli a lot more. I find her to be a bit more plug and play with the AoE and the single target, you know. That being said, I use Didding a lot. He's my second most used DPS, and he's right there below the MVP tier. He's certainly my second favorite SSR, or SR, excuse me, on my account. Consider him an SSR, though. Valyrian is my most used SR on my account, and I absolutely love her. Of course, with SRs, I mean, you can basically go in and upgrade all of their skills. I should go to skill 1 and upgrade that as well. Either way, Valyrian is absolutely top notch. She has the equalizing HP. She's got those the basic buffs, which are really, really handy. I love her in the arena as well, especially where I am in the game progression wise. So Valyrian is an MVP. I was gonna say the only SR MVP on my account, but I lied. There's 2. Kaz. I mean, Doki Doki is where I spend the majority of my time, the majority of my energy, stamina, whatever the heck, stability. There we go. But man, Kaz is fantastic when we talk about CC, right? The slumber and they don't wake up, and that's all you need, right? So I end up using her a lot in multiple areas of the game. Anywhere there's wave content that I need to CC about, you know, essentially. Fangus. My most recent level 50 and my last, just like Shadow Sonya, he's going to be the other half of that dynamic duo. I have not invested in him yet. I have not built him out, at least in modules and shells yet. But Fangus is going to be my daughter, and then Shadow Sonya is going to be my dot combustor, the instant activator, right? So that's going to be my dynamic duo. That's what I'm working on right now, and that's going to be my main effort in October for PvE. For PvP, I will show you, I'm not going to talk about all these animuses, but I do have a bunch of 45s too. That's the conclusion of my level 50s. I have Rosa, I have Suzuki Mi, I have Mia, I have Viper, I have Kashi the Guard. I was trying to use him for Sharon, but still can't clear Inferno though. I have Batsby, I have Yang, and then next on the list to upgrade for my account is going to be Heinrich. Heinrich is going to be my next dude. I actually just pulled Rahu too, which seems interesting, but I'm going to go for Heinrich, and I want to start orienting my account, generally speaking, towards more PvP content. That's going to be my other goal here in October, starting to to optimize teams and understand the meta a lot more than I do right now, which is very cursory. All right, guys, that's going to be it for the video. Thank you to Etheria Restart for sponsoring this channel again. And guys, let me know what you think of my teams, what you think of my MVPs. Do you disagree on any? Do you see any Animuses that, man, Ash, why aren't they your MVP? Let me have it in the comments below. Much love. And as always, take care, guys.